Hi guys, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving or just a good Thursday if you're not living in the US. And if you're not from the US, you might not know that Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, is Black Friday, which is insanity in the United States. People going crazy to save $5 off a TV. And normally I don't participate whatsoever. It wasn't until last year that I went out Black Friday shopping, and in general I'm against the entire concept, and it's terrible for workers. And the one exception was I was in our local retro video game store, Just Press Play, which is privately owned, 3 stores throughout the area, great place to go, and I overheard someone talking to one of the managers there about their Black Friday sale, and it piqued my interest because it sounded like there were going to be actually good sales, actually good deals, not these really crappy doorbuster deals that you're not saving any money. And on top of that, they respect their employees. They are closed Thanksgiving Day, and they don't open until 8 a.m. on Black Friday, and they don't stay open any later. So it's, again, just kind of a normal day. They're just having a big sale. So I decided, you know what, this kind of goes against the grain of what I normally think of as Black Friday. So I went last year, got amazing deals, and the stores weren't very busy either. Like, they weren't overwhelmed. They had plenty of employees there, and they were working like shorter shifts. They weren't having to take off for the whole holiday to work. And on top of that, everyone was at the mall, so they weren't that busy. So that was a great experience. This year I went back, and this year I took my little brother, and I also took my sister-in-law with me, and we went to all 3 places and had a great time and got some crazy deals. And for me in particular, because all summer my wife and I have been going to yard sales and Goodwill and saving up store credit there and not using it all year long, so everything I got for like $14. So that was really great. And then we got a new surprise that when we came home later that evening, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Right now, my brother and I are going to go through what we ended up picking up. I'll let you start because you got a little bit more than me, I think. So.
Okay. Well, the first thing I saw was I went to the Dreamcast shelf of the first Just Press Play we went to. The other ones didn't have any Dreamcast games that I wanted, but I did pick up 2 finds. The first one was Mach X. Stefan originally gave me a list of like cheap, good games that I could get for the Dreamcast when he originally gave me the Dreamcast, and this was on them. And I played like maybe the first level of this,
and you died.
And I died. It's really hard. It is really hard. It's like a first-person action game, and it's just really fun. And I only tried the first level maybe like once or twice, and so I want to go back, try it a couple more times, and maybe beat it. And then the second Dreamcast game I picked up was Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. Now, if you don't know this game, you're probably wondering why I even picked it up. The thing with this game is actually like really interesting. It's, again, I played it at Stefan's house apartment when I first got my Dreamcast, and it just really piqued my interest because you're just this dolphin and you just swim around, and I just played the tutorial level, but later on there's like an alien invasion, and Echo the Dolphin is the only one that can save humanity, like save the entire world. And so this was just a really fun game to play, and I was interested to see, because I didn't see any of the alien invasion when I originally played it, so I was just interested to see what happened.
Some of the first pickups that I got, one more interesting one was I got Burn Cycle for the CDI, and it's pretty cool find because that's one of the systems around here that you never find anything for. I mean, it's kind of an obscure system that very few people will actually want games for, aside from me. So for the CDI, I got Burn Cycle. That was a great find there. And then just a couple short ones. I only got 1 PS2 game. Normally I get a lot, but my wish list is getting down there for that system. But I did get the Final Fantasy XII Collector's Edition. This is really awesome. Been looking for this for a while, and I love this tin case. It's great. And then I got 2 games for the PS1, Cardinal Sin, which is a fairly unknown fighting game from, I think, 98 on the PS1. It plays a lot like something like Soul Blade or Soul Edge, depending on where you live, mixed with Mortal Kombat with a sort of medieval theme. Really cool. We played this a little bit last night, checking it out, because I hadn't played this since probably like 1998, 1999, so it was fun playing it again for the first time. And then I got the long box version of Battle Arena Toshinden, and this is a special game for me. I have the jewel case, and originally this is the version I had when I was a kid, so it's cool to get the long box back. So moving on with you.
I then found 2 games for the Wii. My mother at a yard sale, I don't know how she found it, but found the Wii console with 2 Wii remotes, 2 nunchucks, 2 wheels, like 5 games for $20. I don't know how she found it. But anyway, I've been picking up games here and there for the Wii, and so I found the House of the Dead 2 and 3. This, I really picked it up because Stefan and I played House of the Dead in the arcades whenever we went to the beach, and I was really interested in finally getting it on like a home console so that I could play it with my friends back home.
It's like your childhood come to life.
Pretty much. Yeah. And so this was a great find. And then this game, Okami, it was a game I've been looking for a while. It's a very interesting game because it's a very literally artistic, because you use actually like your Wii remote as like a paintbrush. Not as much like Epic Mickey, but like this is more like artsy instead of Disney-like. But I've been looking for this game for a while, and I finally found it. And this was actually kind of cheap, but it was the only copy they had, so I was really glad I picked that up.
Yeah, that was a good pickup.
Yeah.
For me, the original Xbox, before last Black Friday, my original Xbox collection was gone years ago when I originally moved, and I only had one game left over from that collection, that was Shenmue 2. And then I rebuilt that collection last Black Friday, and then again added a little bit more this Black Friday. And I got Alter Echo by the now defunct THQ. This is a very interesting game for the PS2 and original Xbox, and I actually think the original Xbox version performs a little bit better, so that's why I got that version. I also picked up Unreal Championship 2. Good find here, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And as you may know, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I like it, I've read a lot of the books, but I'm not a huge fan of the games. There's only 3 that I've ever played that I like really enjoyed, and this is one of them, the number 1 for me. So that was a good find to get back in my collection. And then I had Max Payne on the PS2, Max Payne 1 and 2 on PS2, and Max Payne on the Xbox. And I finally had Max Payne 2 on the original Xbox, so I played that. And this I was happy to find. I mean, obviously something that's not hard to find at all, the original Halo Combat Evolved. But I was really happy to find this copy because in the past couple of years, I have never seen a copy like this. I always find the one with the that big gold Game of the Year stamp on the side, and I wanted the version I originally had, the old launch version, the original one without the Game of the Year stamp. So I finally found that, and I was kind of holding out to get a copy of the original Halo again until I found that version, and I finally did.
And then I also found some things for the original Xbox. I found the first Fable. I played Fable 3 a while ago, and I really liked it. And then I read some articles and I watched some videos saying how like it was so different from the originals. And so after that, I watched my friend play Fable, and I was really interested in like the differences that it had. And so I was really happy to pick this up. Then I picked up Thief: Deadly Shadows. I've never actually played the original Thief games. You said this is the first one on console?
Yeah, it's the third game and the first one on consoles, I believe. Yeah.
And so I was really interested to pick this up because the new Thief game I haven't heard great things about, but the remake, reboot, whatever it is. But so this one was interesting to find. And then I also found Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but this is the Platinum Hits version. I have this on the PC, but more than I can play this before I can play the PC game, just because I don't have the correct kind of PC to play it. And then I also have Halo Combat Evolved, and of course this is the one he was talking about with the
this was the version I was trying not to get.
Yeah, and so this is the one.
That's the original copy that I was trying to get. So as you can see, for both of those, I grabbed the good version. I left him with the worst version because I'm kind of a dick. Moving on to from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, I completely missed out on most of the 360, and I missed out on Mass Effect. And I really want to get into playing those. I really like them, but it's the kind of game where I don't really get into something like that until it's already past, that generation's pretty much done. It's that type of game that until I know the series is completed and it wasn't completely trashed, I don't really want to get into it. I don't want to invest, the time.
Yeah.
And so I was able to pick up the whole trilogy here, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. And I'm really excited for these because I'm a huge RPG nut. I love RPGs, but it's very rare that you find really good sci-fi RPGs. And typically when you do, it's something more like Phantasy Star or even Star Ocean or like Xenosaga, where it's sci-fi, but at the same time, it still has that very anime-ish twist with a lot of fantasy worked in. If you think about Star Ocean, you end up on more of a fantasy setting with sci-fi elements with it as the story moves on. So it was interesting finally to get something a little more sci-fi on the RPG side on consoles. A little bit more on like PCs, but on consoles, that was a pretty cool idea, and I can't wait to actually get in and play those. I know those are some of your favorite games of all time now. So.
Yes.
And you got some 360 games as well.
Yes. 360 is my newest system that I have, unless the Wii is newer. I don't know. But anyway, I picked up Bioshock 2 and Bioshock Infinite. I played the original Bioshock over the summer, and I really liked it. And so I was really interested to play Bioshock 2 and Bioshock Infinite because Bioshock 2 I heard was not as good, but still a decent game. And then Bioshock Infinite, I read an article saying like this is where they got it right, and so I was really interested to play that.
It is very different though. It feels very different than the first Bioshock, but in a good way I feel.
Yeah.
So I think you'll like it.
And then I also have Fable 2, the Platinum Hits version. As you already saw, I got Fable 1, and so I just thought I'll pick up Fable 2. And then Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. This is one of the newer games, probably the newest game that I have. And I saw my friend play this. I'm a really, really big fan of Lord of the Rings. And when I saw this...
He's not kidding.
No, I'm huge.
He's not kidding.
No. Like, my goal is to have as many Lord of the Rings games as possible.
I need to find the NES game for you.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But so this, I saw my friend playing it, and to me it looked like Batman Arkham games mixed with Middle Earth, and that really interested me because the Batman games are some of my favorite. And so to pick this up for a decent price was really happy for me. And then Borderlands. My cousin and I played this when we were younger, and
You're still young.
I know, but like a couple years ago, and and I just remember playing the co-op, and it was ridiculously fun. And so I'm hoping to find a friend or two to actually play this with, relive old
so
memories.
internet, he's hoping to find a friend or two. So if you're willing to be a friend, he's not that terrible.
No, I'm not. And then finally, South Park: The Stick of Truth. As you said, it's like the only South Park game that's actually worth getting.
Yeah,
And
I have all the old South Park games. Like they're horrible. They're almost unplayable.
No, they're bad. And so to pick this up for another decent price was actually really cool because it's like South Park RPG. How can it get you better?
Then for me, my wife and I are big fans of the DS. That is, I think, now become one of, if not her favorite, system to play on of all time. So we got a lot for that. We got 2 puzzle games here, Zuma's Revenge and Balloon Pop. And the DS, while being a great system for RPGs and things like that, is also a great system to spend like under $5 to get a unique little puzzle game that can be a lot of fun. It's a great system to bulk up on just those kind of fun casual games and also have some really in-depth hardcore games on the same console. So it's cheap pickups there. And then Mushroom Men, Rise of the Fungi. And this is a really cool looking game. I saw a little bit of the gameplay on the Wii, and this looks like a more interesting version. I think she would like better actually for a platformer. And then the DS version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and I absolutely love this game. It's one of my favorite racing games of all time, and I'm curious to play the DS version. It looks a little bit more like a PS1 version of that game that I've been playing on the Wii and like the 360 version. So I'm interested in that, and of course the Sonic Classic Collection, which definitely is great for us because we're big Sega fans, big Sonic fans. And the probably my favorite pickups of the day really were for the 3DS, Tales of the Abyss. If you've seen on my channel my Tales of the Abyss review, you know it has become now my favorite Tales game of all time. Replaced Tales of Destiny when I finally got around to playing it. Absolutely love that game, and I can't wait to play this. And I really think this will be the first Tales game that my wife will actually sit down and play. So a bit of hopefully like a gateway drug into more of that series for her. And then something that's going to be a major time suck, I know, for both of us, have us, fighting over the DS, will be Fantasy Life. We're going to spend a lot of time playing that, I guarantee it. So this was a great pickup here. So, and was that all of yours from the shop?
No,
you got. That's right. PS. You got a bunch of PlayStation.
Yeah, I got
stuff,
a bunch. So I'll start. I have PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 because that's And so for PlayStation 1, I found Tomb Raider. It doesn't have the manual, but it was like $2, and so I thought I'd pick that up. The first Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider 2, and then Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, which was I've played the newest Tomb Raider game, not the one that just came out like this month, but the one that came out like a year or two ago.
Okay. So now instead of buying Rise of the Tomb Raider, he went out and spent a lot less money and got actual Tomb Raider games. So that was a better deal, I think.
Yeah, and these were good price and awesome pickups because they were like right next to each other, and so that was awesome. And then also Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. This case is like a huge case. I was telling Stefan last night, but it's only a 1-disc game and it comes with a manual. I just found that really cool. But I had this game when I was younger. I played it all the time, but I played this at a time where I didn't know what saving and loading meant. How old was I? Like
I don't know.
6, 7 maybe? I don't know. But, so I would like save, but I didn't know how to like get back to the save.
He would do this with a lot of games. He would completely start the game over every time he put it in when he was really little until he figured things out, and it's actually kind of fun.
And it wasn't,
so he would never get anywhere in games.
Nah, I did that with Final Fantasy X. Like I played the beginning like hour for like 10 times. 10, 20 times, yeah. And so I love this game, and then I don't know what happened to it. I think my cousin took it and then didn't give it back, or maybe like got rid of it because it broke or something. I don't know. And so to find this for like $2 or $3 is really like a huge thing for me.
Eric and my cousin Ryan both loved Yu-Gi-Oh! When they were little, to the point where I had to go and take them to see Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie in theaters because our parents were unwilling, so I had to suffer through it. But then you got some PS2 games.
You brought a friend.
I brought a friend so we could do some sort of like Mystery Science Theater thing, sitting behind you guys and make it through the movie.
It was a good movie when I was
6,
whatever that was.
I don't know.
And then Evil Dead: Fistful of Boomstick. I'm a more recent Evil Dead fan. I only watched the movies back over the summer. That's the first time I've seen them. And so with the new TV series coming out, I was like, I should play the game. I'm interested to see how it is.
It's supposed to be really good. The sequel's good. I played that. Regeneration, I think it's called. That one's.
I think so.
That's the second.
And then God of War. God of War, not God of Whore. Okay. God of War, greatest hits version. I had a copy of this before, but for some reason it wouldn't load in my PS2, so that was weird. So I got this for like $4, and hopefully this one works. And then Yakuza. I remember when Stefan played this and the second one, this was like all he would talk about was Yakuza. It was the same thing when he was playing Xenoblade Chronicles,
like yesterday, like every day of my
yeah,
life.
pretty much. And so picking this up, I'm interested to see how this is.
It's good. Not to spoil it for you.
Thank you. And then Kaya Dark Lineage. This is an interesting platformer. I played maybe the first hour when I was here. I played a lot of games at your apartment.
Yeah. If you see this, I'll just take this. I'm stealing this from you for a second.
Go ahead.
If you see this, buy it. You can find it like anytime you find. I've never seen it more than like what, $7, $8.
Yeah.
What you pay for? Yeah, like this is such a hidden gem. It's one of the best platformers on the PS2, hands down. Like up there with like Jack and Daxter, the first one. Get this if you see it. No one knows this thing exists.
Yeah.
So get that if you see it.
Yeah, and if you find it, it's cheap.
Yeah.
And then Final Fantasy VII: Dirge of Cerberus. I played this years ago, not so long ago, because I did know how to load and save when I played this one. I was young. No one taught me. Okay, my first games were like Mario, where you couldn't save, and so I thought all games were like that.
This is underrated, I feel. It gets a bad rap. I actually think this is a lot of fun. It's not, Devil May Cry quality, but it's better than Devil May Cry 2. It's good. So.
Right. And so I did play this years ago. I don't remember the story that much, but I remember having a lot of fun with it, and so I am interested to go back and play this again. And then kind of like my find of the day was Half-Life. I played Half-Life 2 for the Xbox 360 and the orange box that came with Team Fortress 2 and Portal. And I remember playing it and I loved it. It is one of my favorite games I've ever played. But there were some things I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what is this thing? It's referencing the first game. And so I was finally able to find this for a decent price. I kept finding it for like $20-$25, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much. Like, I'm just going into college. I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it. And then I finally found it. It was still $20, but I was like, with this sale that's going on, I might as well pick it up. And so I finally did, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned the sale they had, which was great, was any used game Gen 7 and back was buy one, get one free. Like, that's incredible. So that was a great deal.
Half the things we have are free.
So I finally is going to play Half-Life, and for me, I hope you enjoy it, because for me personally, I like the first Half-Life better. I feel like I like the more claustrophobic feeling, and to me, in the first Half-Life, it feels like the environment is a giant puzzle in a way, and I kind of like that feeling. So to me, like, I actually like Half-Life better than Half-Life 2, but we'll see what you think. I mean, they're very different in a lot of ways, so. And then there was a giant find, because you could call it, later on. We were home. He had something in the afternoon. I picked him up, brought him home, and my wife called me. She was at my in-laws, her parents' house, and her dad dug up from like the basement, because we found an old Atari 2600 game from MASH, which I think are back here. Yeah, for MASH, which is one of our favorite shows of all time. So we wanted to try it out and just see what it was like, and we didn't have like a 2600, not something really. We're looking to maybe add one to the collection, more for collectability as far as like I really enjoy gaming history, but it's something where I would maybe have 3 games for.
Yeah.
But so he went and dug out, and as you can see behind us, hopefully it's not too much of a glare, but the actual complete in box Atari 2600 plus a second console and this giant box of controllers and like with 2 consoles. Look at this, insane, everything in here. And my amazing father-in-law dug this out, and it was just incredible. I always get the craziest, like, awesome stuff from him. Like, he has the coolest, like, stuff, because he likes exactly the kind of things I like in many ways from that 70s, early 80s especially era, so it's really kind of cool. And then on top of that was cool enough, we got a huge box of games, a huge box of games. And a lot of them, here's some kind of loose boxes. We haven't put them all back in their boxes. A couple here, a bunch of manuals, and some of them come with, if you're familiar with the system, some games come with sort of like a mini comic telling you a little bit of the backstory before you get into the game, because it's very simple and you can't really tell much of a story within the game, so you tell a little bit without to get you into it. And we got a whole bunch of, we got some loose cart games, Laser Blast, Asteroids, so we got some of the sort of like core games, Space Invaders, and Circus Atari. I don't know what that one is, but Circus Atari, Indy 500, Slot Racers, Combat, I got that, Breakout, so that's a good one right here, and Starship. And that was pretty nice, but then we got a whole bunch of complete in-box games. Like, it's crazy the amount of stuff. Like, as I said, we were going to add maybe one 2600 and a couple games, and now we have about 40 games. So, complete box, Ice Hockey, Berserk. I have to tape with this box a little bit. A couple of them are a little crushed, but most of them are in good condition. And this one, I love the art. That's one thing I like about a lot of these games for the system. Some of the art is really cool, and they actually remind me of a lot of early 80s, late 70s books from DAW and certain publishers like that. A lot of those old fancy sci-fi books from that period. Atari Baseball and Atari Football. And we also got here Boxing, Missile Command, Adventure. This one looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna try that one out. And then it's in there. I have another copy of Asteroids, Defender, and this is probably one of my favorite box arts of the ones we have. Definitely one of the favorites there. Stampede. This looks kind of bizarre. New Atlantis. This is really cool. Again, really cool art on that one. Keystone Capers. Kaboom. Demon Attack. The notoriously bad version of Pac-Man. This one's really cool. We got Donkey Kong. Centipede. Pengo, I've never heard of this one. Dragonfire. Frogger. Kangaroo. And this one actually has not even been opened, so Tunnel Runner. Night Driver. Pitfall. Actually, I remember this classic. Jungle Hunt. Miss Pac-Man. Combat. Atari Grand Prix. Freeway. And for me, the gem of what we found in like almost perfect shape, E.T. for the Atari 2600. That's pretty awesome. So this was just kind of, we were already done our Black Friday shopping, got these crazy deals, and then just kind of get this text and this call from my wife saying, hey, guess what? Here's a picture. And she takes a picture of these giant box full of Atari stuff. I'm like, I'm bringing this over when I come home. So that was amazing, and I'm going to spend today kind of cleaning everything up. It's been in the basement for decades, and checking things out, making sure that everything works, and I'll definitely do a few videos talking about some of the games, because I've never physically touched an Atari 2600 before, so I'm going to try and get some of my first impressions for some of these games out to you guys, and just let you know what I think of playing system for the first time. So that was our Black Friday madness. It was like 10 times more than I was expecting, but that was crazy.
So, that was great.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. You got a lot of great stuff. So
yep.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, in general, I think Black Friday is a horrible thing, but every once in a while there is an exception. So that was our crazy pickups, and thank you for watching.